Hi, shalom, and welcome back to Who Knew Is Jewish. We are on episode 52, and today's topic is Captain Crunch. Chaim Guria was born in Istanbul, Turkey, to a family that traces its roots there to the 1500s. He did move out on his own at the age of 14 and moved to Israel. A high school dropout, his hopes of life in the Israeli army unfortunately ended when an explosion caused a hearing loss. Now, undeterred, he did return to school and earned a Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering. After working at a rubber factory, Guria decided chemical engineering just wasn't for him, and so he decided to reinvent himself once more. He did move to the United States, earned a master's degree and PhD in food science at the University of Illinois, and became a food technologist. His first job was at Quaker Oats Company in the Midwest, and it was there that Captain Crunch was born. While Captain Crunch is famed for its sugary taste and distinctive cartoon character, Guria's contribution was technical and industry trendsetting. He co-developed the cereal's manufacturing process called extrusion, the mechanical process when grain is forced to flow under one or more varieties of conditions of mixing, heating, and cutting through a mold which shapes and or puffs dries the grain. Now, before extrusion became the most common method of processing cereal, grains were typically rolled. Now, as for Guria, he too spun off into multiple ventures. He worked for Del Monte Foods, an company developing food for astronauts. He also ran many companies of his own, along the way hitting actually another gastronomical home run, developing Hidden Valley Ranch dressing, or more accurately, the dressing that we dip and devour today. Years before, ranch dressing had gone to market in dry mix packets, but Guria actually created the bottle liquid formula convenience-loving consumers didn't know that they needed. There is also some history to the flavor of Captain Crunch from Pamela Lowe, a flavorist at Arthur D. Little, who claimed to have developed the original Captain Crunch flavor in 1963, recalling a recipe of brown sugar and butter her grandmother Luella Lowe served over rice at their home in Derry, New Hampshire. And also, as a side little known fact, if you've ever paid attention to the Captain Crunch character's uniform, you will actually notice that the stripes on his uniform actually denote the naval rank of commander, not captain. So it really should be Commander in Crunch, shouldn't it? Well, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. Make sure to come back next week for another episode. And don't forget that if you have any suggestions for this series where I do a deep dive into the Jewish history and Jewish background of foods, companies, brands, characters, toys, etc., make sure to leave it in the comments or email me or send me a direct message on any of the social media platforms that this series is on. And if your suggestion does get chosen, not only will I be making a episode using your suggestion, but I will, of course, make sure to shout you out during the video. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all next week.